Unit ready.
Hey everybody, so this is going to be a tour of Egypt game and Yuri's Revenge.
Construction complete.
It's one of the most popular maps in the game right now. So I always like to make at least one GI near my barracks, so the dogs can't eat the guardian GIs later on.
Building. Unit lost. New construction options.
Looks like it's going to be Korea versus USA. And as I've said in another video, you could spam miners if you're Korea sometimes, because one shot kills IVs,
Structure garrison.
and also you could defend if they rush you with a whole bunch of crap with pillboxes. You know, infantry GIs, guardian GIs, dogs, pillboxes, rocketeers, and when they come with rockets, you just get the pillbox and boom, you're gonna have 4 miners versus like 1 or 2 miners, and you're just gonna basically have so much money. And then when you make the ore purifier, if you do, that's just gonna solidify the game, and you're just gonna be rich versus the poor guy. And you know the rich always beat the poor. But it's kind of true though. If you have more money, you could build more stuff in the war. I mean, it's pretty simple, but the thing is, you could just basically defend. But you can't do it versus Soviet, really, the same way. You do something similar, you could go 2 minus more factory, but...
Unit ready. Construction complete.
You got the walls up.
Unit lost.
I can go anywhere. Up and over. Chrono miner reporting for duty. Mining. Standing by. In transit. Gunner in position.
Unit ready.
So yeah, if you do try this tactic, I mean, it's not guaranteed to work for you because you gotta do it correctly. Because a lot of people, if they try to copy the tactics, they do something wrong or they don't realize something. One technique to learn something in general, especially in a game like an RTS game, is you don't really need 10, 20 examples. Just use 1 example or 2 examples and really totally understand everything in the example.
Unit ready.
Maybe watch the same video of toys. And actually,
Unit ready. Unit ready.
you gotta actually check the missiles to see if they're loaded sometimes.
New rally point established. Construction complete. Low power. Building.
Like, if you totally understand, like, everything, in the strategy, you should be able to duplicate it at least close to the same, skill level as what I'm doing. Maybe even better, hell, I don't know. But the thing is, a lot of people that copy, I noticed, like, I've seen some people playing the lobby, and they try to copy, say, like, my Korea Rush on Doom Patrol, and they just don't do it correctly because it's something that they just miss out on. Like, they either do it too slow or they don't do it right. So here, as I said, I could defend. I actually don't have my Korean planes hotkeyed, so I was like, oh shit. So I'm gonna... No IAV, so these rocketeers might be able to chase him away. And he realizes that. And those walls kept us planes alive, because if those walls weren't there, I think he could have rushed the airport and killed all 4 planes. And if you kill all 4 planes, you gotta believe that's a big deal. Oh, and here's another thing I just want to throw out. If you're USA, any allied... Oops.
Unit lost. Building.
If you're any allies other than Korea versus a Korea, and you're like, okay, I want to blow up those jets, you can make 4 Harriers and kill the Black Eagles with the Harriers. And also, you could even NG rush them. If you NG rush 4 jets, and you have an airport, you could actually steal the jets and bring them back to your base and then sell the airport. I don't actually show that too often, but notice I got the walls, so you're gonna say, oh, I want to see that, let me see that in the video. I'm like, I got the walls, you're not gonna see it when it's versus me, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna allow that. So this guy's going basically a Patriot missile type defense, similar to what they do in Red Alert 2. Red Alert 2 does that, but counter pressure with Rocketeers is what works best versus Korea if you're another allies. That's what I noticed. Because if you just counter pressure and then you're gonna pair drop them when the overloaded and they're just basically so busy, like doing too many things at once, then it's gonna be problematic.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Okay, only losing 1 jet's not the end of the war, honestly. Killing the power plants is actually a really big deal versus allies because they have $800 electric, which is the most expensive. And even though it does give you more electric than the Soviet one, You don't have any special technology to give you more electric like Soviets do, or even Yuri does.
Eagle Squadron. Let's take 'em out.
And look at how he was dodging. I was like, what the?
Unit ready.
Let's take 'em out.
And then I shot the third and fourth. I was like, I gotta see if he's gonna dodge all four.
Take 'em out.
And I don't know how he did it.
Unit ready.
How did he do that?
Building. Construction complete.
Okay, ore purifier.
At your service.
Building.
Now I'm rich. I got the miners. I got the money.
In transit.
Unit ready.
Command received.
All I gotta do is build a prism tanks, and he's dead.
Unit lost.
So you can't go all prism tanks alone. I got plenty of grizzly tanks.
Building.
So the grizzly tanks are gonna be support for the prism tanks, because remember, prism tanks alone are weak. You're gonna get bum rushed with a bunch of grizzly tanks and die.
Force shield.
I also could make a couple of
Construction complete.
mirage tanks,
Unit ready.
but they would be effective. But
Calibrating.
the fact is, I already got enough grizzly tanks, so I have support for the prism tanks. So I don't really need the
Unit ready.
mirage tanks. I'm like, oh shit.
Unit lost.
No, watch, I'm gonna kamikaze on them.
Unit lost.
For Japan!
Unit ready.
Yeah, so yeah, I kamikazed on them. Still, the reason why is because if he starts getting his prism tanks going, he might be able to fight back if he gets enough. But I have a lead on him. Oh shit, nice. Oh, that was actually a nice hit by him. Damn.
On hold.
I thought I was gonna totally dominate him, but he actually got my battle lab. But what I'm gonna do, build another battle lab, and while we're in the meantime, I'm gonna get some IFVs, because I know I'm gonna need some IFVs. So I have enough to attack him. I don't have to wait around. Remember, like the other video where I showed you the guy, he kept waiting. I'm not stupid like him. I'm gonna if I get a whole bunch of prism tanks,
Destination commander.
I'm gonna attack. I'm not gonna stand around.
Ready.
With a chrono convoy.
Unit lost.
Oh, he actually tried to hit my things with his planes.
Unit lost.
So I just gotta support those prism tanks, and when you support those prism tanks,
Unit promoted.
they're not gonna die.
Building.
He could try to rush him with his IFVs, but I think he can't hit the air and the ground at the same time, so it might be a bad idea.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Building. Building.
No, I can make super weapons. I'm filthy rich. I could make Rocketeers non-stop. This Rocketeer. I could click 20 of them if I wanted to. But my main focus is the prism tanks. The Rocketeers are good,
Unit ready.
but my main units are the prism tanks right now. And the IFVs are basically just to support my prism tanks from Rocketeers.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Unit lost.
So now, yeah, it's getting rough for him.
Unit ready. Unit promoted.
Like a charge it. Oh, he made a GI Battle Fortress. That is a big mistake.
Unit lost.
The Guardian GI Battle Fortress is just hands down better, honestly. I mean, you like to say a pro and con of like putting this in the Battle Fortress compared to putting that in the Battle Fortress. The Guardian GIs are better than the GIs, just hands down.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
The Initiates are okay in the Battle Fortress, but they just don't have the range of the Guardian GI. So I mean, the Guardian GI is overall the best.
Unit promoted.
I noticed how the splash damage, and I have a
Construction complete.
one elite. The elite is basically gonna make the game
Unit ready.
like a 0% chance for him to win. So
Unit ready.
there you go. He couldn't get a battle lab. But what he could have done a little better is he could have tried to rush my prism tanks before I built up with grizzly tanks really hard. He didn't really try to do that, but he did try to make a couple good plays with his Harrier jets, killed my battle lab. But other than that, you know, I just built up. He didn't pressure when I was building up my money. If you see somebody making a lot of money, you gotta kill them before they have a chance.